everyone, Gary James here. Welcome to episode 25 of Tampa Tuesday. I'm super excited because today our lineup of events, like there's something for everybody, especially on Saturday. There's not too much on Friday or Sunday, but Saturday, let me put it this way. There are so many events on Saturday that if there's nothing for you, you're just hard to please. Now, anybody who knows me is probably just thinking, Gary, you're a hypocrite because you're hard to please. And I'm okay with that. So overall, we have 14 events over the weekend. Here we go. First, I have to give a shout out again to David Cribbs. Thank you so much for having me speak at your Game On real estate event. And I wanted to give you a plug. I know we actually have some real estate agents who watch this show. So I wanted to plug your event. I know you're doing a 48-hour brokers open house on a listing you have out in Valrico. So I wanted to shout that out. Details in the link above. It's actually a really cool listing that you have because it's all like 50s era and themed, and it's a really, really cool commercial property. If you're in the market for something that's absolutely unique and you're looking at commercial real estate, commercial office space, this is something I would definitely look into. Okay, so the next event is actually a shameless plug for myself. I do events myself, but I don't really put it on the show because it doesn't really have too much overlap. But I know that a lot of you guys who do watch the show are also in business because you know me and we talk and communicate. So on Friday, I'm actually teaching a class at the Entrepreneurial Collaborative Center in Ybor City. It's right off Palm Avenue. And I'm really gonna be teaching how I approach social media to generate more business for myself and how I look at lead generation and things like that. So what I'm gonna be teaching really applies to any business. If you're even thinking about starting a business, I definitely welcome you to come to this event. It's put on by Operation Startup, which is a veterans focused organization. They help US military veterans make the transition out of military service but into entrepreneurial life. And it's really, really cool that they're doing this. And it's really, really cool that they're doing this and they're letting me kind of brag about the little bit of success that I've had. Okay, so also on Friday, there is a nighttime farmer's market. This is gonna be in Riverview. It starts at 3, ends at 7. I like nighttime farmer's markets better than the morning ones, mostly because mornings I'm okay with getting up out of bed early, but usually my clients aren't. So I'm a big fan of night markets, and there's one in Riverview on Friday. Also on Friday, shout out to you guys in St. Pete. Orange County Choppers, yes, that reality show that everyone went crazy for. Orange County Choppers is opening a dealership in St. Pete. They're gonna be doing a whole bunch of giveaways, and even Paul Sr. is gonna be there himself. If you get there early, you'll be able to get a t-shirt, and then I hear they're gonna be doing a line for autographs. I don't know if it's paid or if it's free, but overall, the entire event is gonna be free, so you can always just go. Maybe you'll get a selfie with Paul Sr., or maybe you'll just enjoy yourself. Either way, if you're into the whole Orange County Choppers thing and you remember how awesome that show was on Discovery Channel, I definitely recommend you go. Of course, also Friday night, I always have to recommend when they are doing a food truck rally over at the sale. Check it out, starts at 6 p.m. The sale's gonna be open all the way past midnight, and the food trucks are gonna be there for most of the night. Either way, they usually do live music and they just throw on a generally good event, and I love the scenery. So if you just wanna be around food trucks on Friday night, this is where you wanna be. Okay, getting into Saturday, all right. So Saturday morning, first thing, cars and coffee at Tampa Bay Grand-Prix. So technically it's cars, coffee, and karting. But hey, I'm a gearhead. I love looking at nice cars. I like seeing the work that people do. And also, I'm a big fan of Tampa Bay Grand-Prix. It's a fun spot. It's a perfect, like, family-oriented kind of... If you have children who are, like, approaching teenage years or, like, just a little bit older and you're looking for something to do with the family, you need to take them out to Tampa Bay Grand-Prix. So the next event... Weeden Island is doing a guided hike tour sort of thing. I didn't even know about Weeden Island until like last month. It's on the other side of the Gandy from downtown Tampa. It's literally on the left side when you get off the Gandy exit, or when you cross the Gandy Bridge. So it's really cool. They have this lookout point and everything, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't know about Tampa Bay, I'm certain, if you go out there and check it out. It'll be a good gathering. Starts at 9. Be there. Okay, so this next event I am totally posting just because it's trending. Okay, so maybe you've seen those videos that have been going around about goat yoga. Yes, I said goat yoga. It is literally what you think it is. It's yoga with goats. But the goats are super cute. There's really not much more that I can do to hype up this event because It's kind of just super cool all on its own, but it came across my newsfeed. I just had to include it. It's at Grady Goat Yoga, Tampa Bay, and it is benefiting the Grady Goat Foundation. And I can't believe I just said all of that correct. That starts Saturday at 10 a.m. Okay, so I have to give a shout out to my competition here. I usually wouldn't post this type of event, but it is cool enough that I kind of have to. Tampa Bay Tiny Homes. Yes, those little micro homes that people are going crazy over. Tampa Bay Tiny Homes is a company in Tampa that builds tiny homes. They are hosting an informational workshop at their location on Saturday at 10 a.m. That's going to be out in St. Pete. Okay, so this next event, I've seen it like 4 times. I never put it on the show because it's always been sold out. So the Tampa Bay History Center, every first Saturday of the month, they do a walking tour of Ybor City. A walking tour is super cool. There's so much history in Ybor. It's one of the oldest places in Tampa Bay. But it starts Saturday at 10 a.m. So you can go to the farmer's market. It starts at 9. Make your way over to the where the tour is going to start. I can't remember. It's one of those long Spanish name streets. It's like República de Cuba, something. But that starts at 10 a.m. It is $20 a person. So be mindful of that. But I'm sure it's worth it because this is one of the events that sells out all the time. I usually don't include it on the show because it's sold out before I record the show. So this next event is going to be in Riverview, again, Saturday morning. Starts at 11 a.m. It is a family fun day at Abdany Orthodontics in Riverview. Now, this event is actually really cool. It's not just like a farmer's market. They're gonna have vendors and live music and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. There's a catch though. The catch is you actually have to pre-register. The event is completely free and they even have goodie bags for the first 100 or 200 people that register. But overall, it's just gonna be a really, really cool community event. If you have a family, if you live in Riverview, South Shore area, this is where you wanna be. All right, so this is the very first time this has ever happened. A guest of the show is actually having an event the weekend that the show is aired. So this weekend, Gina Marie and all of her friends over at the Raw Studios, they're hosting Wing It. Wing It! Wing It! That's going to be Saturday evening. Starts at 5 p.m., goes to 9 p.m. This event is really, really just a place that's going to be hosting the arts in St. Pete. So you can expect live music, dancers, and then there's even going to be something called live art, which is where somebody's physically going to be creating art on site throughout the event. These guys have done an amazing job bringing their vision to life. Even if you can't appreciate the art for what it is impossible not to respect these guys for all the passion that they've put into making this space happen. Okay, this next event is for those of you who are looking for something family-oriented. Saturday evening, there's an event at the Boeing. I can't even say it. There's an event at the Boeing Fun Center. It's called Illuminates. You know what? Forget it. The Fun Center is one of those like trampoline centers where you drop your kids off and they just like jump around like crazy and tucker themselves out. But these places have actually become pretty cool. There's a lot of people on YouTube that do vlogs and they go to these places and show off how many cool tricks. It's like the skateboarding of today. So they're hosting an event that's called Illuminates, and what it is they're going to be turning off all the lights, turning on black lights, and doing this whole dodgeball tournament. I kind of want to go just to peg some punk in the face with the dodgeball, but I'm not like that. If you're interested, that one starts at 7 p.m., goes to 11 p.m. And the last event we have on our schedule is on Saturday. It's going to be the Good Vibes and Low Rides car meetup at Taco Bus in Tampa. Now this is going to be the Taco Bus on Falkenberg Road, not the one on Hillsborough Avenue. But it's going to be a cool meetup. They usually get a pretty large crowd there. I love tacos. Who doesn't love tacos? Hopefully you get it. You're crazy if you don't like tacos. If you like tacos and cars, this is where you want to be Saturday night. On Sunday, actually, we have 2 events. The first, Spatty's Coffee. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Miss you. I haven't seen anything about First Fridays, so I'm assuming that's over. It was really cool, but I understand if it wasn't working out, it wasn't working out. I only went to one as much as I really liked the events and talked about them. But on Sunday, I know you guys are hosting a local musician. I think Damian Ward. I hope I got his name right. If I didn't, it'll have it right in the event. But that's Sunday at noon. You guys should go. It's in Seminole Heights. Seminole Heights is always a cool place. I believe they have a farmer's market in the morning anyway. So if you're going out to the farmer's market in Seminole Heights, just go ahead and drop by Spatty's. The one drink you have to have if you go to Spatty's, you have to get the iced cafe con leche. They are the only people that make it right in the entire city. That's all I have for events this week. As I said before, Gina Marie and special guests, so Gina Marie and company, gonna be on our show. Excuse the casualness today. It's just been crazy busy. I've literally got an hour to edit this, and then I have to drive to Brooksville, and then hopefully by the time I get back from Brooksville, this will be done without any problems, and I'll be able to upload it before this is over. So anyway, on to Gina. Thanks you guys so much. Take it easy. We already have the blooper reel.
You should do I would love that.
Okay, bloopers are the best.
Oh my God.
Right
Okay,
here.
now I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey everyone, Gary James here, and welcome to episode 25 of Tampa Tuesday. And I am super excited because I finally made it over to the St. Pete side of the bridge. Woohoo! First time. So, welcome folks. Thank you so much for being on the show. This is like the first time I've had 4 people on at once. Well, 4 people including me, so I can't count. I am here at, actually, no, I'm not gonna run it. I wanna, let me say first, tell the story how I got here. Because this has been a very interesting journey on its own. So as you guys know, I teach a class for social media more related to sales, and I teach it at the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center in Ybor City. And one class maybe like 3-4 months ago, you were there, Gina.
Yes. That's
where I met you, and like you were just like doing this crazy amazing thing. And I've been following you since, and I'll be honest, like a lot of times when I meet people that are as excited as you are about their ideas, like that's all it ends up being. Like it's just, it's just a lot of, excitement and sparks are flying and things. But then as I'm following you and I'm starting, like we're in her place, like and she's just doing these incredible, amazing things, putting legwork to her ideas, and I've never seen so much execution so fast by somebody not only artistic but vision driven simultaneously. So congratulations.
Cool.
I wanted to definitely acknowledge that. So why don't you introduce the audience to where we are and how this came into being?
Oh my God, and Gary, it's so great to have you here because you were amazing. You really, and even our conversations as we go, your insight is incredible into how the world works, how social media works, how even real estate and everything, all of it intertwined. And that's kind of like, for me, what I feel this space is an intertwining of true talent, passion and visionaries to kind of come together and create something magical.
Right.
And that was the vision I had, and I didn't have it clearly defined until the beginning of January when we created the Great Abe Plan. But here you're right now in the Raw Studios, which is in the middle of the Warehouse Arts District. And if any of you know some of that, like Duncan McClellan is my neighbor. It's a place, it's a bunch of warehouses where a bunch of artists have accumulated, and it's where art is made and not just
right here.
displayed.
I'm
And
your
then
neighbor.
let me introduce, so we have this great resource, like we have a great team here, and when you were saying so much has happened, it is not me. It really is. They're laughing because it is not me. And I'm like guided. Sometimes I come here and there's things happening. I'm like, right now you see there's something being built. Right behind us, right? This big, huge sculpture. And really, sometimes I come here and I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. Let's do this, all right? Or then we have all the forms, we have all the stuff. So really, this is a space, a creative space where I have really merged with talented people.
Awesome.
And I would love to introduce them as well if you want to.
So yes, we have two of your wonderful. What would we partners,
Engines.
co-sponsors, what engineers?
We're a team. We're literally.
So I'm a
Abe, why don't you go
industrial
first?
designer. Yeah, so my name is Abe Elomari, and I landed in St. Pete like 7 years ago. I'm a self-made industrial designer. I got my place right here that we do fabrication facility. So how I landed here is a long story. I was standing one of Fridays, Jamal came handed me a flyer. He's like, we're doing something here with a public meeting. I'm like, yeah. And like, is it Gina's warehouse? He's like, yeah. So I came here, and that's how we started. So we started redesigning like the experience that's going to be here. So basically, Christine is going to be taking care of the food and the beer and the wine. And I'm like, well, if we're going to have a kitchen and we're designing it, could be for recording videos and at the same time you're serving food, so that you're doing two things at the same time.
Food is important.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not, just to keep people here, if they move in like, oh, we're hungry, I want to leave
Because
out.
we are on an acre. I don't know if you can see this. We are
Right.
on an acre
Oh yeah,
here, so
I'm
we
gonna
have a
take plenty of
building.
B-roll.
So yeah, so we came up with the great plan that Gina mentioned about 8 companies, going. It's a big thing. So we're talking about. We made a concept for the outside. That's what she pitched at the greenhouse. It wasn't ready. I only spent 5-6 hours to make the concept, but we gave an idea to the people what we wanted to do by using shipping containers, sustainable design, off-grid, and visual fabrication on her lot. Now that became like a big of a project. So I'm like, all right, we want to show people the smaller version. So we moved the whole thing inside the warehouse. So then we're going to have a TV set design where we can record videos.
Right.
And then a little stage where people can play music, and you have a kitchen.
So you're the guy that brings the vision into hardware.
Yes, and fabricate it. And like when I talk about an idea, I'm like, I can see where's the nails going. Like, okay, it's gonna work, it's not gonna work. All right, move on. All right, how we do it like that. But I always try to make something that is like functional, I guess.
Right.
Like functional for everybody.
Yeah, it can't just be visual just to be
Right,
there.
because like a kitchen is functional to Christine,
Right.
to you, to me, to Gina, and to everybody's gonna be sitting here.
Right.
So that's just not one thing. The same thing with the TV set design. We're going to be changing the backdrop, but it's not going to be just like, green screen. We're going to have actual cutouts of like logos and stuff like that. So this is where I see it's headed. We don't have the whole plan, but it's going by itself. So just the energy keeps it going. And of course, Gina is.
It does, and what I love about Abe, and when we met, I think we met a couple of years ago, and then we knew there was something. Now we have the fabrication division, and we're creating this whole fabric. So it's really very exciting. And this is very large scale. The 8th plan was very, very large.
It's a little town.
And we have event space here too, and we have. I would like to mention February 14th. We have a Valentine's Day dinner.
14th. Valentine's Day dinner.
Table is right over there.
Right.
As an example.
Rock
so
on.
yes, and there's only 15 couples, very specialized to harp players,
Wow.
singers. This place transforms. We've had the VIP St. Pete Art and Fashion Week black tie event to the
I saw
TLC
that.
premiere.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like this place, it's really
Right.
incredible that the many uses. But Abe, I remember when we had one of our first conversations, because having like-minded people who are passionate
Right.
and driven and hustle and do
Right.
have this that really feel like we want to be around something genuine, authentic,
Right.
was really a key factor that brought us together. But I remember when
And it's so cool that you've really stuck with that.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to get lost in the things that need to get done, and you lose perspective on kind of why you started in the first place.
True.
So before we go on too much, Christine, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
I'm Christine Gleisner. I'm formerly Christine Emerson, Emerson Catering. I'm a certified kosher caterer, thanks to Rabbi Lutsky. And food is my passion. After a divorce, I started working for a great organization, Publix. I'm a seafood specialist for them. But now I'm getting, after 10 years of a divorce, I'm getting back into my groove and what I want to do.
Right. Oh man, that's so awesome.
And building out a kitchen I built out many kitchens, so this is not a big, overwhelming, it's really out of Gina's realm, but it's not out of mine. And I surround myself with, we have some great people, Sarah, who's not here, from Lewis Wall out of Tampa, equipment people, and get the vendors in, and they show us. And they're looking for space to bring someone to show them how to use, say, a convection oven.
Right.
They can bring them in, we can actually, do the demo right here. And she can sell, the convection oven, a couple, $3,000.
There you go.
So utilize it that way. The kitchen, some gentleman needs to bottle hot sauce. He needs a certified kitchen. He can come in, say he could bottle hot sauce, he's gone. He's in, he's out. People doing YouTube.
And that's what's one thing I gotta say that's really been awesome is that all of you, I can see that you understand revenue is important. But the mission is first, and that is so cool that the perspective that you guys have on what piece of the cog goes where. Because we've been talking before the camera turned on, we were talking for like an hour and a half, and the only thing that I heard was, this is what we want to do. This is what we're trying to do. But this doesn't happen without finances. Nothing here was free, in the sense. So I'm really curious to hear you guys' perspective on how does that balance out?
Okay. I'll tell you something about that. So we're designing the place. We're putting a bar, we're putting a TV set design. And of course, that requires money for design and fabrication. That's my job. That's what I do.
Right.
So what we're going to do here is we're keeping the cost below zero, I said, because all we're gonna buy is materials.
Right.
And I have computer control machines that we can cut it, bring it here, we bring somebody to install it. So we're keeping the cost low, like I can't even say it.
Stupid low.
So we're keeping it low so we can get it going with
Right.
a little money. Like
Right.
literally, you have no
Resourcefulness.
idea what I can do with $1,000. Like I probably can sell it to somebody for $20,000,
Right.
but it costed me $1,000. I'm doing it here for $1,000. I'm not charging for the hours because it's a passion, it's an experience. I want to be in it. So if I want to be in it, I gotta sacrifice something.
All day.
It's my time, but I like it, so I'm not
Right.
sacrificing anything. If I come here and drink coffee and hang out, this is what everybody wanted to do, I guess, to just be happy. You want to be around the environment that keeps you going. Because like today I came, I didn't know they were going to be recorded, but I always wanted to do it.
You always wanted to be on a podcast.
There you go.
Do I look
And
cool?
it's, we got, oh, you do. You let
I'm
the rabbits
excited.
right here. Okay. So we got, like, what's really exciting too is like-minded people are drawn.
Right.
So we are continuously meeting these incredible visionaries, and it adds. It's like I always said, my idea, if I'm lucky,
Right.
I can get a vision, if I'm lucky,
Right.
to 75, 80%. That's on a really good day. If
Right.
can you imagine taking, when I merge with people, I hit levels that didn't even, it makes no sense. My vision becomes something beyond what even my expectations are.
Right.
So collaboration, for me, I always say it's the concept, collaborate, and creation. That was
That's
great.
what we were talking about earlier, strategic partnerships. Like
Yes.
That's where that comes in.
Yes.
And so I'm most interested about the food, though.
Oh, wow.
This gets me so nervous. Christine knows this gets me nervous.
No, I know, because it's out of our realm, but
It does. I'm like, what do you mean?
Well, Christina, you're going to give me one night for Moroccan
yeah,
food?
Moroccan.
I cook it
Every
myself.
month we hope to do an ethnic experience.
Okay.
Where you're surrounded by art, dance, food, like a Moroccan
Right.
night.
Belly
we're gonna-
dancing.
Yeah, I just contacted someone regarding Puerto
say
Rico.
something.
They have a restaurant in Clearwater.
No,
I'm
sure.
friends with good friends of theirs. We do a submersion, just
Food is
submerge
the
you
easiest
in
way to
the
get me out of the
arts.
house.
Is
Like,
it
it really is.
Food brings people together.
All day long.
It's a
It's the
common
easiest way.
denominator. So it brings people together. And
Isn't it difficult though? It's the one, like for me, when I think
Food
of that,
and-
really, you know, you have the equipment, the rules,
the permitting, the licensing, but
Right.
that's what I
Food
do.
goes
Right.
wrong.
Because I've had.
But she's got that, Gina.
Yeah,
You
no,
gotta
that's what
trust
I
her.
do. I
Like,
do.
just
She
trust her
does.
that
She
she's
does.
Right? I'm
got
like,
it.
no.
All I'm doing for
We
Christina,
have a hot
designing
dog
the
cart. We have a hot dog cart. We have our, some licensing that we need.
I'm
Working.
picky on hot dogs.
Yeah, Nathan's hot. We're doing a Brooklyn event. We are doing a Brooklyn event. It's
What's
going to
funny,
be a
'cause
wrap off.
I'm
We
with
got a
Brooklyn
DJ
people.
from Orlando, but we got a twist
Or they
on
love
it,
it.
a
They're
cultural
into Brooklyn,
event.
I love
it. That's awesome.
So we're doing Nathan's hot dogs, Junior's cheesecake.
Right.
We're doing the Brooklyn sodas,
Right.
and we're doing Joey Brooklyn's pizza.
Okay.
So we're taking these vendors and they're partnershiping with us
Right.
to market themselves.
So you could
as
do a whole
well.
like Brooklyn foodie night.
Yes!
Oh
That's
my
what we're doing.
Well, here's the thing.
We are ordering
The Brooklyn Foodie Night is just one of the nights.
one of them.
You said
Yes.
it on Monday.
Rocco's getting in there.
Right.
But we are ordering the product on Monday. We order
Oh,
on
that's
Monday.
good.
The product's here on Wednesday.
But
It's
that's
coming
gonna
right
generate
from
revenue,
Brooklyn.
like,
There's
that's
a
so
supplier
cool.
that
Right.
drives it down
Right.
and distributes on the way.
Well, I think, and this is just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in perspective with what I said earlier. Ideas are dime a dozen.
We love your ideas.
Let it out,
Big
bye.
follower.
Get it?
I think that there is a certain distinction with a lot of the food vendors that are here. It's very clear when somebody's like commercial driven, like I'm just gonna do a burger stand because I know burgers sell, versus somebody that's ridiculously passionate, like you guys. And I think that the distinction is going to come. The market's going to create the distinction all on its own. That's why Chili's and Outback and Applebee's became irrelevant. It wasn't overnight. It seemed like it to the market, but they became irrelevant because people realized, oh my goodness, this is microwave food, and I can get better going to the hibachi place in the strip mall. And then, that's a big story. That's a big part of my story. It's like Applebee's didn't change their food or change their menu. My tastes got better, and then the whole surgence of shop local came about. But then even within that, people are getting more picky. People are getting. It's not just. I don't think it's just about competition or competitiveness or options. I think that part of it is people want something real, and so like you guys
real
have
food.
You guys have a platform to tell people this is what's real.
On the next second Saturday,
Right.
we are doing an Israeli food cart.
That's
So we're
awesome.
going to do falafels, we're going to do baba ganoush, we're going to do like the brown soda, and stuff
Oh,
like
what's the word?
that.
Food cart? That's
It's actually technically
Right.
push cart.
push cart.
That's what it's called, but that's what your hot dog
Right.
cart is technically
Right.
called.
So if you guys do some sort of local geared event, like you can always theme an event, but if you do a local geared foodie event, essentially like the best of the best, that I think that would be something that I'd be so down to come out for.
So almost like a taste of,
Yeah.
well, we called it Taste
But,
of Nellis years
yeah.
ago for all children's, but it could be a taste of whatever.
And I think if you don't shy away from being willing to say like these guys need recognition, like these people are worth absolutely
hustling.
exactly.
Oh, you could even like test, like let's say you have a kind of food, you
Yes.
test it, and you get. Maybe
That's
you sell
another
that business plan to
optional.
a restaurant.
I
or to
have
a place.
2 vendors that are willing to, they want to do test kitchens. One's got an idea out of Washington that won't franchise, which is my daughter's idea, but she wants to test market. And then I have
don't know your
someone else
daughter,
that
right?
wants to do another idea, and they want to test market it. So this would give them a pop-up
Right.
to do that in.
Cool. There is the Tampa Bay Foodies that
Oh, that's a
page on
huge
Facebook.
Instagram
So
account.
I
Yeah.
noticed, like, just from the French people that they own the restaurants, that they really take that page serious.
Ooh.
So Tampa Bay Foodies could be like just let it finish it there.
Right. No, I was going to say, I mean, you could even essentially use this almost as a platform to give brands, local brands,
Yeah, bring
like
me the
Tip
admin.
Exchange,
Bring the admin
Hidden
of Tampa Bay
Tampa, Tampa Bay Foodies.
Yeah.
They could essentially be the mediator for the event, so that it allows the brand that has the credibility to make the distinction for you.
You know how they
You're
use-
just giving them a platform to be able to express their opinion.
Yeah. Well, you know how they use like the
Right.
reviews? Like the Tampa Bay Foodies, they don't delete like reviews. Let's say even you're my friend and you own a restaurant, but somebody's like the diner, took a lot of hits on the food. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
when you test the food, like when you taste it, then you know why people are mad. Because design-wise, it's like fantastic, but then you expect the food to be the same.
Right.
But then when they give you little home fries or something, like you'd be like, for $10, you'd be like, what is this? Like,
But in defense,
No, I'm
my
serious.
food was
So
good.
So the Tampa Bay Foodies, like this restaurant owners, they take that page very seriously.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So if we get the admin, which is I think I know who he is,
Right.
and I think he's from St. Pete, because like you know how you can find the admin of the page.
Well, I mean, those guys always need space.
Right.
Like, there are so many brands, real brands, that
But those
locals
needs to-
respect that
'Cause
don't
it's
have
good for
a
the
space to do
That's
what they
what
want to
we
do,
do.
and that
Send
the
me a
fact that this
Superman
kind of
and a
provides that is
Superwoman.
amazing.
Sorry.
We've also touched base with the Aspect Group, which is
Right.
the continuing, the people, it's a national-wide organization, and at Ecker College, they have 350 members.
Awesome.
So I'm friends with their director, it's a paid position. They do things that you didn't, say you were a doctor and now you use another part of your brain, so now you are, say, a wine person.
Right.
They're looking for places to go and things to do that stimulates that part of their brain.
Right.
So if we hold an event, say with art or with jazz, we invite their jazz group, their people that are interested in jazz to our
Right.
event. And these are people that are retired. And it's bringing in a different demographic,
Right.
a different age group.
Right.
Because
we talked about too, like
we're very into different ages.
Right.
the biggest obstacle I think that I
That was
have.
going to be my next
Yeah,
question.
okay. The biggest obstacle, and it's just amazing. I cannot believe what's happening. The passion. This is what I've always wanted. This teamwork. It's incredible. I mean, this Pam Acosta. There's a group of us that aren't here at this moment that are like equally out there
Right.
doing it, making it happen, and we get along really well. And we just. But the overload of opportunities, as great as that is,
Right.
we have so much buzz and media, and that it's almost saying, okay, we're going to cherry pick this, and even, I spoke to the director, and then that gets lost, and I'm supposed to call, and by the time, like, it's being pulled a little bit, going, okay, I have to narrow this focus, and really understanding, not defining, because what I like is that we're not putting ourselves in boxes as the normal, that's where our talents develop. If I put someone in a box, or someone puts me in a box, I almost limit what those capabilities are, right?
Right.
So we are just kind of out there, but sort of defining what we each can handle at that moment
Right.
so that we can capitalize on these incredible opportunities
Excellent.
and weed out those things that are just very time consuming, like the 80-20 rule.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing.
That makes so much sense. And okay, given that, it's kind of like, you know, you're going, you're getting the wheels turning, like the engine starts whirring, and then all of a sudden you have so much coming at you
Right.
that you have to figure out what you're focusing on.
Right.
Correct.
So
Without boxing it and
right.
defining it.
Well,
too
you don't
much.
want to choose wrong.
Right.
You know,
It's true.
you don't want to be the guy at the end of Indiana Jones and
That's why when we
Well,
talk
that's
about
where we
poorly.
come in.
right, that's why when we talk
Help with
about
those
kitchen,
decisions.
I will never box anything. Like
Right.
I won't box that for like just for
Right.
a specific thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It always has to be like doing more than one.
Like,
I
wait,
think,
there's
Which is like what
Yeah.
Christine said, like this guy that wants to do like hot sauce. He just need a certified kitchen.
yeah.
I didn't talk about the sauce.
I think it's terrifying
I have
because of
some
that. You
designs
just don't
for
want to choose
I
wrong.
can't believe you picked that 'cause this morning I had a conversation actually with Rick,
Right.
and I was talking about the decision making.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh my God, when you're making those and you're pulling triggers, we're at the stage of really pulling some big triggers, right?
Right.
Making these major decisions that
Right.
we're going to be, and pulling those triggers is a difficult thing
Right.
to say, okay, and you got to.
You have to. Yeah, you don't. I mean, because otherwise you make no decision, which is even worse. Like the worst thing to do is not to make a decision.
Yeah.
So
No, that's what
for
I
me,
mean.
like I understand because I got to a place in my real estate business that I'm doing very well personally. And I was speaking with you about this earlier. So I'm doing great, but I need to like my goals and what I want to do in real estate. Like I have a personal goal. I want to be the most influential business person in Tampa. That doesn't necessarily mean I've made more money than anybody else, because that's not. I know what my financial goals are, and they don't require me to make more money than anybody else here. Like, but I do want to have that badge of being the most influential business person in Tampa.
Interesting.
And so I know what I have to do in order to get to qualify myself necessarily on paper, but I also know that I have to build a real business, like an actual business, not I make money doing this, because there's so many ways to make
Right,
money.
right.
We all understand.
You
There's
have to
so
build, like,
many
a
ways to make
concept
money.
of
Yeah,
a
but
product.
being actually good at business is a whole different animal. That's why, like, I don't focus on digital marketing. I don't focus on. There's so many things I don't focus on. I'm not trying to become a great speaker. I'm not trying to become.
Millennial expert.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be the guy on Shark Tank. I'm not trying to be.
Yeah.
But in terms of when somebody says my name, I want that same thing, like when you say Jeff Vinnick, like that's a big deal. Now, it's because he owns the Lightning, and he's incredible, but
Bill
he's
Gates,
also,
over here, Bill Gates.
yeah, he's also incredibly involved.
Who's Bill Gates?
So
real.
he's also incredibly
Is he a
involved
chef?
in the city. Like he's
Yeah,
redeveloping 40 acres
Oh, he makes
of
windows
downtown
and
Tampa.
doors.
That doesn't happen by accident. Like I don't care how much money you have.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get 40 acres of real estate in the 11th largest metropolitan area in the country.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You have to be an influencer. You have to strategically plan.
100%.
And that's one of the things that I'm really liking. This I get excited about what
Right.
we're doing. Like this is an exciting experience that we have, and
Right.
the fun. I think no matter what we're doing, we have to have fun.
Right.
And
Oh, we do.
We do. We laugh fun.
Sometimes at our own expense.
That's the truth. So I will be keeping up with you guys. Always, please let me know what events you guys have, especially if it's on. I guarantee if it's on Friday through Sunday, I will put it on the show.
Can we give
That's
you a
not
list
promise.
of even what we've kind of accumulated? Or
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Second Saturday.
Yeah,
We got
absolutely.
some car show
Okay, now,
coming
well,
up.
you're gonna add him
You
to
know,
the.
the comedy thing, which is third Friday
Yeah.
every night.
Put him
Oh,
on
no, you're
there.
gonna add him to the group.
Yes.
Anything and everything that you guys have going on here, please let me know. You guys have a permanent spot in the events section of the show.
Well, like here, what we have, like
Thank you.
that one is a business,
Uh-huh.
that one is a business, that one
Right.
is a business.
Exactly.
The whole thing is a business.
So-
the whole area is a business, and then
Yeah.
the whole city is a
Yeah.
business.
And I want to thank you for having me on your show before my own daughter had me on her
Called her
I'm calling it out,
Called
Melanie
you
the No Show. I do have a following on her show. They want to know about the mother that washes out the Ziploc bags. I got my own following. I'll have you
So I
know.
love her. Love her.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
so
thank you.
not a problem at all. I'm super excited for the space. I'm super excited to see what you guys do the coming months and the coming years. Like especially 20 years from now when this is a brand, and it's its own thing, and it has its own ridiculous reputation within the community. That's what I'm most
Ooh,
excited
ridiculous
about.
reputation.
Shit.
And obviously,
Yeah.
and you
They
want to
want
be an
just like
influencer.
a-
You are an influencer. This is
I'm
prime
getting there.
time.
I'll be
getting it.
80,
You are
but I'll
there.
still be rocking it.
There you
here.
go.
We will still be cooking in that kitchen at 80.
So that's all. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience that you think they need to know?
Just really honored to be here on your show, and then also excited. It really takes a community to come and just, coming to the events, buying any of the products, or helping us, or if there's any way you want to get involved, definitely reach out to us. We want, it's really about the community.
Excellent. So my instruction to my audience is keep an eye on these guys. Watch their events page. When you see something that's interesting, come out. Support this sort of thing, because this isn't some national, brand that's coming in and doing this. This is real people where you live, invested in your community.
And this is where the millennials wants to be.
Yeah.
100%.
So if you want to be around millennials, come here. So as my good friend Willie Lawson always says, Willie Lawson, the only person who loves Tampa more than I do, as he always says, get out there, learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.
You too.